1. Introduction. My name is Diana. My life was very busy for many years. I always focused on my work. My job was important to me. I also had many personal dreams. These dreams were about my career and about new experiences. I did not think much about marriage when I was young. Love was not the main goal for me at that time. I liked to spend my time in different ways. I loved to travel to new places. I saw many cities and countries. Reading books was another big hobby. I read many stories and learned new things. I also worked very hard every day. My work gave me a lot of satisfaction. I felt happy with my life choices. Many of my friends got married quite early. They were often in their 20s. They started their own families quickly. But my path was different. I stayed single for a long time. I was happy being alone. I enjoyed my freedom. I could make all my own decisions. This freedom was very important to me. I never felt sad or lonely because I was not married. My life felt full and good. Still, deep inside my heart, there was a quiet wish. This wish was for a family. I wanted to have children. I dreamed about being a mother. I imagined holding a tiny baby in my arms. I wanted to feel that special love. This desire was always there, even when I was busy with work or travel. It was a very strong feeling. I often thought about this future family. When would it happen? Would it happen at all? I did not know the answers. The future of my family life was very unclear. It was like a big, unknown road. I could not see what was ahead. I just continued with my life, working hard and enjoying my independence. But the dream of a baby stayed in my heart, waiting for its time. I hoped that one day this dream would come true for me. 2. Meeting a new person. When I was 36 years old, something new happened. It was a Saturday evening. I went to a friend's party at her house. The music was playing, and many people were laughing and talking. I saw a man standing near the window. He was tall, and he had kind, warm eyes that seemed to look right into my soul. He smiled at me, and I smiled back. His name was Mike. We started to talk, and it felt very easy. We talked for a long time, maybe for 2 or 3 hours. The noise of the party faded away, and it was just Mike and me. We talked about many things. We shared our favorite kinds of music. We talked about books we liked to read. We also talked about our lives and our dreams for the future. Mike listened to me carefully. He did not interrupt. He understood my words, and I felt that he truly heard me. No one had ever listened to me with such attention before. That night, I felt a special connection with Mike. It was like we had known each other for a long time, even though we had just met. After the party, we started to meet often. We went on many dates. Our first date was at a quiet coffee shop. We talked for hours again. Then, we went to a park for a walk. Mike often brought me beautiful flowers when he came to my door. Sometimes they were bright red roses. Other times they were cheerful yellow sunflowers, my favorite. I liked to cook for him. I made nice dinners at my home, like pasta or soup. We ate good food, drank warm tea, and talked even more. Each time we met, I felt happier and more comfortable with him. Our time together was always good. We went for long walks in different parks. We watched interesting movies at the cinema. We visited art galleries. But mostly, we just enjoyed being in each other's company. Soon, I knew I was falling deeply in love with Mike. It was a new and wonderful feeling for me. My heart felt young again. I had not felt this happy or excited in a very long time. I started to laugh more easily, and my steps felt lighter. The world around me seemed brighter. Everything felt new and full of hope. Mike made me feel happy and strong. Our talks became even deeper. We shared our secret thoughts and our biggest dreams. We learned new things about each other every day. I looked forward to every moment I spent with him. He was a kind and gentle man, and he made my life much better. This was a very happy time. I was 36 years old, and I was truly in love. It was a wonderful start to a new and exciting part of my life. I felt very lucky to have met him, and I knew my future was changing. 3. Our wedding day. I was 38 years old. One sunny afternoon, Mike and I went for a walk in the park. We often walked there, and it was a special place for us. We sat under a very old oak tree. The leaves were green and moved gently in the wind. Mike looked at me with his kind eyes. He took a small box from his pocket. My heart beat fast. He opened the box, and inside was a beautiful ring. It shone brightly. Mike asked me, "Will you marry me, Diana?" I was so surprised and happy. Tears came to my eyes, but they were happy tears. I said, "Yes, Mike, 1,000 times yes." We hugged for a long time under that tree. It was a perfect moment. I knew my life was changing in a wonderful way. This day was truly unforgettable. We decided to have a small wedding. We wanted it to be about our love, not a big show. Only our closest friends and family came to share our joy. My sister helped me choose a simple white dress. Mike looked very handsome in his dark suit. The ceremony was held in a small, pretty garden. There were many colorful flowers all around us. The sun was shining brightly, making everything feel warm and happy. Our friends and family smiled and clapped softly as we stood together. We said our vows to each other, promising to love and care for each other always. I felt so much love in that moment, a deep and strong feeling. It was a very special day, filled with true happiness. After the ceremony, we had a small party with good food and much laughter. Everyone was happy for us, celebrating our new life. It felt like a new chapter was truly beginning for Mike and me. I felt very happy and hopeful for our future together. After our wedding, we moved into a new house. It was not a very big house, but it was perfect for us. It had a cozy living room, a nice kitchen, and a small garden in the back. We spent many happy days making it our home. First, we chose colors for the walls. We picked a soft blue for the bedroom and a warm yellow for the kitchen. Then, we painted the rooms together. Mike was good at painting the high parts, and I painted the lower parts. We laughed when we accidentally got paint on our clothes or hair. It was fun work, and we enjoyed working side by side. Outside, we started to plant a garden. We planted beautiful roses, tall sunflowers, and many green plants. We spent hours in the sun, digging the soil and watering the new plants. Our hands often got dirty, but our hearts were full of joy. Every day, our house felt more like a home. This time was filled with great joy and many new beginnings. I felt so lucky to have Mike and our wonderful new life together. It was indeed the happiest time of my life. For we want a baby. After the wedding, Mike and I felt very happy. Our new life together was wonderful. We had a beautiful home and a strong love. Soon, we started to talk about having a baby. We both wanted a child to complete our family. This dream filled our days with new hopes. We imagined a small baby in our arms. We talked about baby names and a little room for our child. Every month, we waited with excitement. We hoped for good news. But each month, the news was the same. No baby was coming. This made me feel very sad. It was a deep sadness in my heart. I saw my friends with their small children. I smiled with them, but inside I felt a quiet pain. I wanted to be a mother so much. After some months, I decided to see a doctor. I wanted to understand why it was taking so long. I went to the clinic many times. The doctors asked me questions and did some tests. Then they told me the news. They said it would be difficult for me to get pregnant. My age was a problem, they explained. I was almost 40 years old. This information hit me hard. It was like a big, cold wave. I often cried alone at night. Sometimes I went into the bathroom so Mike would not hear me. My tears were quiet, but my heart was loud with pain. I felt a heavy weight on my shoulders. Would I ever be a mother? This question stayed in my mind. It was hard to sleep. Mike always knew when I was sad. He would come and find me. He did not say much, but he held me close. His arms were strong and warm. He always said, "We will be okay, Diana. We will find a way." His words made me feel a little better. His love was a comfort. He never let me feel alone in my pain. He showed me that we were a team. We talked a lot about our feelings. Mike understood how much I wanted a baby. He wanted one too. He saw my sadness and shared it with me. We tried to stay hopeful. We read books about getting pregnant. We changed our food. We tried everything we could think of, but still nothing happened. The disappointment came again and again. Each month felt like a small loss. The dream of a baby was still strong, but the path to it seemed very hard. I often thought about my younger self who never worried about time. Now, time felt like a fast river. It was a difficult time for us, but Mike's love was my strength. We held on to each other, hoping for a miracle. 5, the long wait. Time moved slowly for Diana and Mike. Diana turned 40. Then, a year later, she was 41. Another year went by, and she was 42. Each birthday felt heavy. Each passing month brought the same sad news. The hope she held so tightly started to feel weak. Every new year meant she was older, and the dream of a baby felt further away. With every failed attempt, a small piece of her hope broke. It was like watching a beautiful flower slowly lose its bright colors. The joy of a new month, a new chance, changed into a quiet sadness. She tried to stay strong, but sometimes the sadness was too big to hide. She saw other families with their happy children. She smiled for them, but inside, her heart felt empty. The dream of a baby, once so bright, now seemed like a distant star, hard to see in the dark sky. Diana and Mike did not give up easily. They visited many doctors. They tried different kinds of medicine. Some medicines made Diana feel very tired. Some made her body hurt. They also tried special treatments. These treatments took a lot of time and money. They went to different clinics, sometimes far from their home. They even took long trips to relax, hoping that less stress would help. Each new treatment or trip brought a little spark of hope. They prayed and waited with all their hearts. But after weeks or months, the same answer came. It did not work. This was very hard to hear again and again. Slowly, a new thought grew in Diana's mind. Maybe she would never be a mother. This thought was like a cold, gray cloud over her head. She tried to push it away, but it stayed. She would smile at work, talk to friends, and act like everything was fine. But when she was alone at home, in the quiet house, the tears would come. She would sit in the dark, feeling a deep, private pain. The idea of a life without a child felt very sad. She imagined a future that was different from the one she always wanted. Through all this, Mike was always there. He was like a strong tree, holding her up when she felt weak. He never stopped loving her. He would hold her close when she cried, letting her tears fall on his shoulder. He would tell her, "I love you, Diana, no matter what. We will be happy together, just the two of us." His words were a warm comfort. He brought her flowers sometimes, just to see her smile. He cooked dinner and listened to her quiet thoughts. He never said, "Give up." He shared her pain, and he shared her dream. Even when they did not talk about it, they both knew. They both still dreamed of hearing a baby laugh in our house. His love was a strong light in the long, dark wait. 6. A big surprise. One morning, when Diana was 43 years old, she woke up feeling different. For many days, she had felt a little strange. She was often tired, even after a good night's sleep. Sometimes she felt dizzy, especially when she stood up quickly. Her stomach also felt a bit upset. These feelings were new to her. She thought maybe she was just working too hard, or perhaps she was catching a cold. But the feelings did not go away. They stayed for a week, then for another week. Finally, Diana decided to visit her doctor. She made an appointment and went to the clinic. She sat in the waiting room, feeling a little nervous. The doctor called her name, and Diana went into the room. She told the doctor about how she was feeling. The doctor listened carefully and asked some questions. Then, the doctor said she would do a test. Diana waited, not knowing what to expect. She had visited doctors many times before, always hoping for good news about having a baby, but always leaving with sadness. This time, she tried not to hope too much. A few minutes later, the doctor came back into the room. She had a kind smile on her face. "Diana," the doctor said, "I have some very good news for you." Diana looked at her, her heart beating fast. The doctor continued, "You are pregnant." Diana could not believe her ears. For a moment, she thought she had heard wrong. Pregnant. After all these years, after losing all hope, tears started to fill her eyes. They were not tears of sadness, but tears of pure joy. She put her hand over her mouth. It felt like a dream. She quickly took out her phone. Her hands were shaking a little. She needed to tell Mike. She called him at his work. "Mike," she said, her voice soft and full of emotion. "I have something to tell you." Mike heard the change in her voice and asked if everything was okay. "It's more than okay," Diana said, and then she told him the amazing news. "We are going to have a baby." There was a moment of silence on the phone, and then Mike let out a loud shout of joy. He could not believe it either. He told Diana he was coming home right away. Mike arrived very quickly. He ran through the door and found Diana. They held each other very tightly. Both of them were laughing and crying at the same time. They had waited for this moment for so many years. They had tried so hard. They had lost hope. Now, at 43 years old, Diana was pregnant. It felt like a true miracle. Their hearts were full of happiness. They talked about the baby, about the future, and about how amazing this surprise was. It was the happiest day in a very long time. They knew their lives were about to change in the most wonderful way. 7, a hard time. The doctor spoke to Diana and Mike after the happy news. She said the pregnancy was special because Diana was 43 years old. This meant there could be more risks for Diana and risks for the baby. Diana listened carefully. Her heart felt a little cold. This news brought new worries to their happy time. Every day, Diana felt a new kind of fear. She thought about her baby. Was the baby safe inside her? Would everything be okay? These thoughts stayed with her always. She tried to be strong, but sometimes it was very hard. She wanted her baby to be healthy more than anything in the world. Her body also felt very different. She was very, very tired, more tired than she had ever been before. Sometimes she felt sick in the mornings. Her back hurt and her legs ached. Walking was difficult. Sleeping was not easy. She needed to rest often. The doctor said rest was very important for her and the baby. So, Diana spent a lot of time at home. She had to visit the doctor many times, not just once or twice. Sometimes, she went to the hospital for special checks. The nurses were kind. The doctors watched her and the baby closely. Each visit was important. Each visit also made Diana a little nervous. She waited for good news every time. Mike was always there. He was her strong support through everything. He did not let her feel alone for a moment. He cooked all the meals. He cleaned the house. He made sure Diana had everything she needed. He helped her walk when she was tired. He held her hand tightly during all the doctor visits. At night, Mike would read books about babies. He learned about being a father and how to care for a newborn. He talked to Diana's belly every evening. "Hello, little one," he would say softly. "We are waiting for you." His voice was full of deep love and excitement. Hearing him talk to their baby made Diana smile. Mike's love was like a warm blanket. It covered Diana's fears and made them feel smaller. Slowly, day by day, her fear started to go away. A new feeling grew inside her. It was hope. Hope for their baby. Hope for their new family. She knew this time was hard, but she was not alone. Mike was with her, and together they would face everything. 8, our baby is here. The day finally arrived after 9 long months. Mike and I went to the hospital. My heart felt many things: fear, hope, and a deep excitement. The hospital room was bright. Doctors and nurses were ready. The birth was difficult. It took many hours. I felt tired, but I tried to stay strong. I kept thinking, soon I will meet my baby. Mike stayed with me the whole time. He held my hand and spoke kind words. His presence gave me courage. Then a new sound filled the room. It was a soft, tiny cry. This was the most wonderful sound I had ever heard. All the tiredness and fear left my body. My baby was here. A nurse carefully placed her in my arms. She was so small, so warm, and so perfect. I looked at her face, her tiny fingers, her little toes. She was real. I named her Lily. It felt like the perfect name for our little flower. Mike looked at Lily with tears in his eyes. He gently kissed her soft head and then her small hands. We both had waited for this moment for so long. All the years of hoping, all the sadness, all the difficult times, they all faded away. In that one moment, holding our daughter, everything felt right. It was a joy so deep, it filled our entire lives. Our new life as parents began. We brought Lily home. Our quiet house was now full of new sounds and items. There was a small crib in our bedroom, colorful toys in the living room, and many tiny clothes. Lily's cries and soft coos filled our days and nights. We were often tired. Lily woke up many times during the night, needing food and comfort. But even with little sleep, our hearts were full of love. Mike and I would watch Lily sleep. We held hands and smiled at each other. We talked about her future, about all the wonderful things she would do. Being her parents was the best gift. We had waited many years for this special love, and now it was here. Our baby, Lily, was finally home with us. We were tired, yes, but we were also the happiest parents in the world.